All right, so the next two lessons, yeah, the next two reasons, I'm gonna be combining them together in one lesson. Yay! Okay, so reason number 12, right? The 12th reason why you constantly struggle with dry hair could be based on your knowledge about black hair science. Now, this is the main reason why I decided to dedicate the first module to just black hair science, so that you can sort of see what goes on, what goes on backstage, what goes on scientifically, um, in your hair, right? So when you know the true nature of your hair, it's very easy to get confused about what your hair needs, right? And also what it doesn't need. Because guys, I know there are so many information out there, and it's just getting more and more complicated as more and more people are entering into the natural hair space. So sometimes it can be very hard to know what to do and what not to do to your own hair. So now here's the thing, right? The basic things you need to know about your own hair, and then it's gonna help you to really come up with a better plan for your own hair, because your hair, it is very unique to you, right? So based on the first module that we covered, you need to know about your hair type. By your hair type, I mean the thickness of your hair. Is it fine? Is it coarse? The shape of your curls. So your curl type, is it type 3A, B, C, is it type 4A, B, C, or whatever. The real porosity of your hair. So remember, we have a module dedicated to just porosity, and I shared, the real and the practical way to test for your hair porosity. And you also need to know the health of your cuticles, right? And finally, how your hair responds to certain products, right? So you need to know all these things. And so some naturals will actually keep a hair journal, so that they can take notes and record everything, what's working, what's not working, so that they know to go back to what works, right? So just having those basic understanding about your hair, your cuticles, your cortex, how the health of your cuticles, and all these things, right? It will really help you to come up with a better plan for your hair. Now, in the and then I have another module where we go into how to create the best regimen for your hair, and then you can use your scientific knowledge about your own hair to come up with a personalized regimen for your hair. So let's take a look at reason number 13. Yeah, reason number 13, again, it relates to reason number 12. So that's unhealthy cuticle. So I covered this in porosity, right, when we talked about hair typing and porosity. So we all know that everything boils down to the health of your cuticles, right? Now, let me show you this diagram I created to show you how unhealthy cuticles can result in dry hair. So this is what happens, right? So it's based on maybe rough handling, maybe the way you comb your hair, the tools you use, the hairstyling technique or whatnot, and then that's gonna raise your cuticle levels. It's gonna damage your cuticle levels, and we know that when the cuticles are raised, it'll increase your porosity level, and when your porosity level increases, that means moisture evaporation, or moisture will evaporate from your hair at a much faster rate, and we all know the end result. The end result is dry hair, which is what we do not want at all, at all. Now, here's my proposed solutions, right? So I mean, we all know that cuticle degradation, it is unavoidable, right? Because your hair will go through some sort of a manipulation. It doesn't matter if your hair is in locks or whatnot, your hair will still go through some sort of a manipulation. But you can reduce the effect of cuticle degradation by by minimizing the following activities. That's aggressive combing. So if it's possible, maybe do a blowout. You can stretch your hair out with African threading or whatnot, and you can always caution your hairstylist to not be too rough-handed with your hair. And you can reduce excessive use of heat, right? Reduce that. So again, there are so many other ways, so many other methods, and we do have a lesson about that heat, and then I'll go into more detail about that. You also want to, if it's possible, avoid bleaching your hair. You also want to use sulfate-free shampoos and products that that are more friendly, right, to your coils, your 4C hair, or your, your particular type of natural hair. All right, so back to you. Let me know in the comment section about the other ways that you protect your cuticle, so that you protect your hair shafts in general. I will really love to hear about what you are doing that I haven't mentioned yet.